Assalamu alaikum, gorgeous. Welcome back to my podcast. And I am hosting this podcast from my hotel room, feeling so overjoyed, so grateful to Allah that I'm able to experience this kind of life. And I'm sat here inspired to talk to you about true abundance, true wealth. Because I know right now you're probably thinking that I need money, I need cash, I have to pay my bills. I don't know what's going to happen if I don't pay my bills. You're constantly in over worry, overthinking, anxious about money, and it's really taking a toll on your health, on your mental health. If you have children, maybe your children, your spouse. So I want to offer you some words of comfort from my soul, because I wish I heard this way back then when I was struggling, when I was a single mother, sleeping out of my car with my 3 children, when I felt like such an utter failure of a mother and of a person. I really wish I heard these words, that Allah did not lead you astray. You didn't come this far in your journey for you to be led astray. Nothing has gone wrong. Nothing bad has happened. Yes, I know you have bills to pay. I understand. I get it. I've been there. But nothing has gone wrong. Just because you are out of money right now, or you may be struggling with cash, or you're making money, you have money, and you're afraid to spend it, I really want you to let these words soothe your soul like they soothe mine. Allah has not led you astray. Just take a deep sigh of relief. Just relief. Feel that relief in your body. Relieve yourself of the burden of having to always figure it out and be in control. Relieve yourself of the burden of responsibility. I know you have so much responsibilities on your shoulders. I see you. I get it. I understand. I understand how hard it is. And I understand that you beat yourself up a lot and criticize yourself and judge yourself. Maybe right now you're thinking about the times you spent your money and you're thinking, oh, I just wish I saved it. I just wish I saved my money. But really what you're doing is you're punishing yourself, and you don't deserve that kind of punishment. You don't deserve to be so harsh to yourself. You don't deserve that. And you're worthy of money. You're worthy of abundance. You're worthy of the life you pray for. I want you to understand this. Money is simply an indication of how well and how much you can give it out. That's all money is. Because money loves to be circulated. It loves to be spread around the world for the greater good. So when you spend money, you're adding value to the world. You may just think it's a cup of coffee, but you're paying someone's salary for the month. You're contributing to someone's child's college education. You're contributing to someone's medical bills. You're not just paying for a cup of coffee. And that's the mindset I want you to have every time you pay for something. And I want to give you my story. So I have a coach who I really want to invest in. And I mean, girl, this coach is amazing. She really understands me, my culture, my religion, even though she's not a Muslim, but she really understands me. So Natalie, shout out to you. But she's an amazing coach, and she's really helped me in my business, in me understanding the spiritual side of my business, the things that I do, that I can't quite explain, but I'm afraid to explain because the connotations that come with being a Muslim. A lot of people think that not a lot of people, let me scrap that. The people that I work with don't believe that. But I know, like, when it comes to having new clients, I sometimes is skeptical about the work that I do. And I want to be able to explain it in a way that makes sense to them. So I've always been afraid of like diving into that spiritual side of mine because I have spiritual gifts. Alhamdulillah, they're from Allah. Like, I used to always demonize these spiritual gifts that I had, but I'm able to see certain things when people talk to me about their traumas or to talk to me about their challenges. I'm able to see exactly what's going on and I can't explain why. And I'm always 100% right. 100% right. It's not even 99% right. And I'm so scared sometimes of how quickly I'm able to like just get to the point of someone's problem. And I see it as a spiritual gift. I see it as something unique because I've not met anyone like me except for the coach that I'm about to work with. So I want to invest in her and it is scaring me because I am a woman who takes pride in how responsible I am with money because I have 6 children, girl. Sometimes the weight of having so many children takes a toll on me. I'm a human being. Yes, I have all these amazing tools that I've created that can help anyone get a result in a second. But sometimes the person who's teaching it, the teacher also needs help. I need support. And I make money because I want to give back, be able to invest in charities, be able to invest in my children. My biggest thing is I want my grandchildren, my great grandchildren to benefit from my money. I really want to create a family that has generational wealth galore because I come from that, but unfortunately, I never benefited from my grandparents' cash. Never benefited from it, never benefited from my father's cash. My family are very rich. I come from a very rich background, but I've never benefited from it. And I believe that because I have children, they may one day have children, and it's my responsibility to make sure that they're okay. I take that responsibility very seriously. Like, I'm already thinking about being a grandparent. I'm so excited to be a grandparent. I'm so excited to pass down my wisdom to my grandchildren, for them to pass it on to their children. I really pray that happens. So when I spend money, I think, oh my gosh, I'm taking away from my kids. I'm taking away from my grandparents and my grandchildren. I'm taking away from my legacy, and it scares me. Like, I have those moments too. So I want you to understand that I'm human just like you. I get it. I get what it feels like to be anxious over money. But what gets me out of that loophole very quickly is reminding myself of all the times Allah has given me money. The times I went for Umrah 3 times in 1 year. Still don't know how. And my money remained the same. Nothing changed in my bank account. It's a miracle from Allah. The times that I went traveling with my children, not knowing how I'm going to come back and like have money, enough money to pay the rent and bills. Allah did it for me. All I did was keep the faith. All I did was keep the hope and the faith that Allah's got me. I don't need to worry about cash. And here's an exercise that I do when I'm feeling anxious about money. I want you to do this exercise with me just to help you feel relief. So just close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And as you're breathing out, just imagine money. Imagine your bills. Imagine something that's making you feel really anxious about money. I want you to place your hand on the part of your body that is feeling the anxiety. Once your hand is there, once you've found the place, just take a deep breath in and release. Feel your body go limp. Just relax your body. Just relax your neck. Feel your head hanging. Let your body go limp. Just relax it. And if you want to lie down or sit back, perfect. Do whatever your body is asking you to do. And now I want you to focus on the anxiety around money. Ask it this question. What do you need from me? Now, this question may make you want to cry. You may feel numb, or you may not know what you need, and that's okay. Ask again. What do you need from me? And just allow whatever answer to come up. Remember, the answer is right. You know best. Trust yourself. Feel into the answer. And now I want to ask the anxiety around money. Why are you here? And just let the answer come up. Whatever the answer is the right answer. And now I want you to imagine that thing that came up. It could be an image, it could be a feeling. I want you to imagine you're comforting that part of your body now. You're hugging it. You're hugging the anxiety. Imagine you're hugging money. Just hug it out. Allow yourself to feel safe with money. Feel that part of your body relax now. Relax that part of your body. Let it go. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You deserve to be rich. You deserve endless amounts of cash. You're worthy of endless amounts of cash. You're worthy of unlimited cash. I want you to imagine that money is flowing through that part of your body. Allow the money to flow through it. And take a deep breath in and release. Breathe into the anxiety through your nose and release. One more time, take a deep breath in and release. And I want you to say out loud, I deserve to be rich. There is more than enough money. I get paid to exist. Money loves being around me. I enjoy spending money. Money multiplies every time I spend it. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Now, this is what I do. I do this simple exercise before I spend money when I'm feeling anxious over it. Because you don't want to send out anxious money. You don't want to feel anxious with money when you're sending it out, because it will come back to you in that way. That's the language of money. That in whichever way you send it out, it will come back to you in the same exact way. Money is a frequency. The language of money is that it wants to be sent out from you. I want you to imagine it's like a little, not soldier, the representative of you. So money is your representative and is going to go out in the world with your message, with your emotions. It represents you. It's going to go out in the world and have a mission to either make people feel anxious or make people feel calm and safe. But whether or not it does that depends on how you send it out. Because money is your representative. When it enters your bank account, it's saying to you, I'm now representing you. I represent what you stand for. I represent your values. I represent your morals. I represent your beliefs. I represent your emotions. I represent your energy. So when the money comes into your account, I want you to imagine it's like a trust that you have. You've been entrusted with this money by God. God is going to test you now to see how you handle the money in your account, whether it's 10p, whether it's a penny, or whether it's £1,000,000. It's all the same. The way you treat a penny is the same way you should treat £1,000,000. If there's any difference in it, there's something going on within your belief system. So let's say you have a penny in your account. What are you saying to that money? Oh, it's not enough. I'm such a failure. I'm so bad. I'm terrible. What are you saying? What is money hearing from you? That penny, when you spend it, it's going to go out in the world with the same belief system. Because it's recording everything you say. Remember, it's your representative. It records what you say, how you feel about it, and it goes out in the world affecting people because of what you said and how you felt. So how you feel about money affects everyone. And I like thinking this way about money. Do you know why? I like feeling like I contribute to the world, whether I believe it or not. We are all contributing to the world. When someone cuts you off in traffic, how does it make you feel? When someone gives you a gift, how does it make you feel? Just imagine that. You get angry, right, when someone cuts you off in traffic? Then what if someone gifts you with something you've been praying for? How does that make you feel? We have the ability to affect each other. When you watch on the news that someone got hurt, when you watch on the news what's happening in Palestine, how does it make you feel? You're not there, right? But it hurts you. It hurts you to your soul. That's the same effect that money has when you let it leave your account with anxiety. So I want you to understand, the next time you spend money, when you send it out with anxiety, it's going to go into the hands of another person who feels anxious and triple that anxious feeling. It's going to go to someone else's hands. And because they're already feeling anxious, because you didn't send it out with love and gratitude, it's going to triple their anxious feeling. They're going to get an unexpected bill. And it's going to make them stressed out to the point that they can't sleep. So if you want to have that in your mind that, oh my gosh, I need to make sure that I am secure and grounded within myself before I spend this money. And there's another exercise that you can do if you don't have time to do the first exercise I gave you. So imagine you're in the supermarket and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I literally overspent. I wasn't bargaining on going to the supermarket and buying this much stuff, but I need it. And you're worried that you're overspending, that the money you're about to spend is going to go into your budget. Instead of putting things back, all I want you to do in that moment is just say to God, thank you so much for this money. It's going to change someone's life. And now I want you to imagine that when you spend the money, it's contributing to the employee's life, their family, contributing to someone's college education. It's contributing to someone paying in charity for an orphan. you sending that money out with gratitude, it's going to multiply. And I want you to imagine that it's passing through so many hands that by the time it comes back to you, it's going to come back in the form of triple that amount. And I remember doing this. I've documented it on my Instagram somewhere. I went to Asda. I paid the money. And I just imagined that. And now 5 years on, I'm here in a hotel room in a 5-star hotel, feeling so in awe of my life. I'm so happy where I am. I am so at peace. There's nothing that I need or want. I'm at peace with what I have. I don't wake up every day thinking, I wish I had more money to do this. No. I can afford to live the life that I want. I have 6 children and I'm living a very stress-free life. I have an amazing husband. My world has done a 180 compared to when I was stressed about money, stressed about finding something to do to be able to provide for my children. And now I'm here. My kids are catered for. They're being looked after by my nanny. I'm here. I can see the sea. I'm in absolute tranquility. It works. I'm an example. I'm a walking testimony that the advice I give you works because I've done it myself. I've done it myself, girl. I'm a walking testimony. So if you have any doubt in your mind, just remember I've done this work. I've been in a worse situation than where you are probably right now. I had no home. I was sleeping out of my car. Like, girl, that's pretty rough, okay? 3 kids. I had like not newborn, but she was 5 months old. And it's cold. And I just had my blankets just to wrap my children in. And then, alhamdulillah, my sister took us in. And we slept on a mattress in a studio apartment, all cramped up. And then I remember that journey of trying to find a home. I didn't have money for a deposit. You know, in the UK, you have to put a deposit down, like a very big deposit. I did not have that money. And I remember seeing a house on the market. And I looked at the house and that's my house. Don't know why. Like, this gives me goosebumps when I think about it. But I said, that's my house. I'm going to get it. I'm going to have it. I just have to be patient. And all I did was just imagine me living in the house. I put in my request to see the house. And then a week later, I got a phone call. And the lady said that the house is ready to be viewed. Are you available tomorrow? I was like, yeah, let me go. When I went to the house, guess what was in it? In the girl's bedroom, the girl that probably lived there, the little girl, whoever the child is of the family, her name was Rose. It literally had Rose on the bedroom wall. And then in the kitchen, as a splashback, it was a blue rose. And I was just like, Allahu Akbar, if this is not the sign, I don't know what is. But then to top it off, guess how much the deposit was? £20. I have no idea why the deposit was £20. I did not ask any questions. That is unheard of. When I told people this story, they're like, that is unheard of. There's no way you put a deposit down £20 to keep the house. And another thing, I just remember now, when I was coming to the house to view it, a lady was leaving. And I was sat there in disbelief, like, oh my God, I hope she hasn't taken the house. And then I spoke to the lady and I was just so in love with the house, the character of it. I was like, it's amazing. I was speaking so good of it. And when I looked at the garden, the backyard, the woman mentioned to me, she was like, the other lady may not take it because the backyard's not big enough. And I said to her, listen, this backyard is enough. All I need is a small backyard so I can step out when my children are just like, being too hard to handle. I just need a little small space. I don't need anything big. And because I said that to her, she was like, don't worry. I'll make sure you get the house. She was, in fact, are you able to put £20 deposit down right now? I said, yes. And I gave her the £20. And the rest was history. I got the house and I was able to stay in that house and make memories there until we moved to the Gambia, until we left. But that house, I cherish it. It's like a whole testimony of what's possible when you just have faith, when you remain patient. Not patient in the sense of you can't complain, but you regulate yourself as you are going through the test, as you are being challenged with money. Money is a challenge, is meant to help you grow. You are not being tested to fail. You are being tested to grow. You are being tested to get something that you've been really praying for. These money worries that you have is simply a test, a challenge. It's meant to develop you. If you just heard that, it was just the AC that went off and it's come back on. This is a test for you just to be stronger in yourself and stronger in your faith. If you didn't have tests in life, you wouldn't need faith. And if you knew where your life would go, if you knew step by step everything you need to make this money, you wouldn't have faith. So remember, you have faith to go through these tests, and you are well equipped. You are more than good enough. You have everything within you to be able to pass this test, to get over this anxiety with money. Now, here's another thing that I did, which I think is very big, is a big key part of how I've gotten here with money, where I'm able to spend it without looking at my bank account. I remember saying to myself, I just want to make money so I can give, not worry about my bank account. Do I have enough money? Can I afford it? Trying to figure out, okay, I can pay rent, then I have this much money left over, and I can spend that money just in case. I didn't want to do that anymore. It was so tiring. So I remember saying to God that, listen, I just want money to be able to spend it without looking at my bank account. I want to be able to eat at a 5-star restaurant without thinking, can I afford this? I want to be able to spend on my family without worrying that I've overspent or feel guilty for spending on my family. I want to be able to spend on myself without feeling guilty. I just want to spend money because it feels good. That's it. And the biggest part of this shift, like the things that I've taught you in this podcast, like the emotional regulation stuff, that's great. But I had to shift my identity. I had to shift my identity. Because when I was anxious over money, I was playing the character of my mom. Now, my mom was very good with money. I didn't grow up with negative beliefs around money. I actually grew up with very positive beliefs around money. But one thing I did not learn how to do is to let go of money without feeling guilty about it. Or let go of money without feeling like, oh, I should save this because I have responsibilities. And my mom, she was a very good saver. She had 6 children. She had to raise us on her own. She did a very good job. Rahimullah, may Allah be pleased with her. But she used to always talk about money in a good way. However, when it came to spending money, it would stress her out because she's thinking, I've got to pay this bill, I've got to pay that bill. It's not enough money for this. Oh my gosh, you need school stuff right now. Right now, you need school stuff. My mom never said that I can't afford it. She would just have like a frenzy attitude, a frenzy kind of reaction. Like, you need it right now. That's what she would say. It wouldn't be like, I can't afford this, like blah, blah, blah. It was just, you need it right now, like right now, this minute. And I remember that feeling. I could see the panic on her face. That's what I became with money. See, when in your mind, you only ever play 2 characters, either of your past or either of your future. That's it. And most of us are playing the character of our past. So either you're playing the character of your parents, because this is what happens. When you're a child, in your mind, you have a vision of this grown woman who is confident, feminine, living her best life. Think about it. When you were a child and you may have gotten into an argument with your parents, what did you used to do in your bedroom? I can't wait till I'm older, right? Can't wait till I grow up and get out of this house. To do what? To go and be depressed? No, right? You would fantasize your way out of it. You would imagine you traveling the world, or you having money, or like you just being an adult. You envisioned a really great life of being an adult. So now that you become an adult, guess what's happened? You are the adult. You become the adult that's your parents, because your parents never taught you how to stay tapped in that identity of the woman you were envisioning. They kind of like coaxed you out of it by saying to you that, that's a silly dream. Remember, if you said to your parents, I want to be an artist, and they said to you, well, artists don't make money. So that slowly over time, that identity that you were attached to started disappearing. And what you did instead is you started acting like your parents. So now as an adult, instead of you acting like the woman that you saw, you are acting like your parents. So when you have those reactions to money, what's actually happening is in your subconscious mind, there is the identity of your parents. And your subconscious mind is saying, okay, the trigger is anxiety over money. Let's trigger the memory. The memory is your parents, your mom, getting really stressed about money. Then the reaction is act like your mom. So start cussing money out. Start feeling panicky. Start feeling anxiety. Your subconscious mind does not know that you are not your parent. Your subconscious mind does not know right from wrong, truth from lies, reality from imagination. The subconscious mind just genuinely believes it's wherever the memory is the real thing. But the memory can only be triggered by an emotion. And then once the emotion, the memory has been triggered, the belief is there. And that belief drives your behavior. So now that you're an adult, instead of you being connected to the higher version of yourself, another version of yourself, like maybe you dream of traveling the world. But because you have the identity of your parents stuck in your mind, you're acting like them instead of that version of you. And every time you do think about acting like that version of you, guess what comes up? Your inner child, the hurt little girl. When you think about your goals, your future, instead of you thinking from think about it. Just think about it for 1 second. It's common sense. It's actually common sense for you to think good. It's not common sense to think bad. It's more common sense for you to think that when I go to the doctor, I'm going to get what I need. It's not common sense to say I'm going to go to the doctor and get hurt. So why do you have that belief around your goals? Why do you believe that it's going to take too long, or you're not good enough, or it's not going to happen? Because that's not common sense. Well, the reason why is because in your mind, you are playing the identity of that little girl who got hurt. So when your parents were getting stressed about money, you felt something, maybe anxiety, maybe guilt, maybe shame. Shame is a big one. So when you're thinking about your goals now, you're thinking about developing and growing. What comes up in your mind? The identity. The little girl got hurt, who got left behind, who got abandoned, rejected, who was told she's not good enough. That's the identity you're playing now. So when it comes to yourself, you act like the inner child who was hurt, and all those memories come up and then beliefs. And when you think about, or when something externally is happening to you, your reaction is to act like your parents. Until you shift that identity and you shift into the identity of the woman who is secure in herself, securely attached to God, securely attached to herself, has high self-esteem, unshakable confidence. She knows that she will always get what she prays for. She has unshakable faith in God and her own abilities. She knows who she is. When you attach to that powerful version of you, the real you is powerful. The real you is not a hurt, timid person. The real you is powerful, and you're actually quite scared of it. You're scared of your power because with power, there's a very negative connotation of greed, being evil, being bad. Because you were taught that people who have power always abuse it. So you're afraid of your power, saying to yourself, no, I can't be that way. It's better for me to be the hurt little girl or to be like my parents, because at least then I don't technically have myself to blame for it. I can blame my parents. So until you shift your identity to owning your power and being authentically yourself, you will always dabble in between doing some of the work, while doing the inner work, getting some results, but then going back to the way you were before. Like I will tell you now, girl, I have not ever gone back to who I was 5 years ago. The beliefs I had 5 years ago, completely different now to the beliefs I have right now. 5 years ago, £100 felt like £10,000. Now, today, £100 feels like a penny. Literally, it feels like a penny to me. It's nothing. I can spend £100 on breakfast. And that feels so good to me. Alhamdulillah. It feels amazing. Back then, spending £100 on breakfast, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I'm a terrible mother. My kids could have used that money. Now, when I spend £100, yes, I'm filled. I'm satisfied. Oh my gosh, this was such an amazing restaurant. Thank you to the servers. I tipped the servers very well. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that breakfast was amazing. I want to do it again. You see the difference? I don't have no guilt spending money at all. The only time I feel a little bit anxious and guilty, like is what I mentioned now about investing in coaching because of responsibilities, but I quickly shift out of it. And soon enough, because I've been able to do the work on myself for so long, soon enough, that's no longer going to be an issue. That's no longer going to be an issue. It's going to be second nature to me. It already is second nature to me. I seek coaches. I don't wait for a coach to message me. I don't wait for a coach to sell to me. I actually look for coaches. That within itself is the shift. 5 years ago, I was not looking for a coach. I wasn't thinking to myself in a way of like, I need a coach. I thought to myself about coaching. I want to be able to run a business and I don't know where to look. Now it's, I need a coach by my side to help me get through this all the time. I've not been without a coach for 4 years. I've had a coach consecutively every single year. I renew with my coaches all the time. That's the belief system I have now, that I need a coach. I need support. I need someone to support me mentally, support me energetically in my business. That's a big one because my clients deserve the best of me. And if I'm not investing in coaching, how dare I expect my clients to pay me? That's entitled behavior. I'm not even doing the work myself. How dare I expect someone to pay me when I'm not even seeking a coach? But I seek the best coaches who serve my needs so that I can be the best person for my kids, for my husband, for my clients, for the world. I believe everyone benefits from coaching. I believe everyone should have a coach. When I actually think about it in our religion, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he had a coach too, Angel Jibreel. He wasn't given revelation and left to figure out by himself. Angel Jibreel was there to guide him. He was mentored through it. We all need a mentor. So my belief systems have shifted dramatically. And I don't look for a coach who's within my budget. I look for a coach who is out of my budget. Completely, million times out of my budget. I will look for a coach like that. And it will get me excited about money. When a coach presents to me that her coaching fees is 100K, I'm like, oh, this is exciting. Oh, I wonder how I can afford this. What can I sell? What can I do? I get resourceful instead of contracting and telling myself, nope, it's too expensive. Next time, she's so expensive. We're getting angry at her price. I don't do that. I just think, wow, this is sexy. Whoa, 100K? What, girl? Let me go and figure out how to afford that, because I know she's the best of the best. And this only happened by me shifting my identity, by me changing the version of me in my mind from little Rosie, who was rejected by her dad, who had money, who left me to struggle with my mother and my siblings while he lived his best life, buying houses, running his business, being able to provide for his other family, instead of me being that rejected little girl, or being my mother who would panic about money and get scared and feel anxious about money. I wiped that all away using my system, abundance rewiring, and shifted into Rosie, the woman I am now. The woman I am now, let me tell you, 5 years ago, I would envision myself in a hotel by the beach. 5 years ago, I'm there right now. I'm here by the beach. I'm looking at the water right now in a hotel room. excited about what's more to come. I'm so excited. I'm not thinking, oh my gosh, should I have told my husband to book this room? Should I have told my husband to spend the money? Should I? Should I have even hinted that I want to have time away? I said to my husband, listen, babe, I need some time away. I need to focus on my business right now. My business is going through an expansion. I really need just some time alone, away from the children. I've just had a baby. She's 2 months old, but she's fine. She's an amazing baby. But I need that space. I left it with him. I left him to figure it out. And alhamdulillah, he came back to me 2 days ago, said, babe, I booked a room for you. 3 nights. Pack your stuff. You're going. Everything sorted. Now, the girl I was 5 years ago would never have been able to handle that. Like, what? Are you sure? Like, what about the kids? Are you sure that the kids are going to be okay? Like, what are you going to do? 3 nights. Are you sure? Like, is there enough food? I'll be panicking. I would not feel comfortable to be sat here doing a podcast without being anxious over my children. I'll probably be crying. And then I'll be thinking about the money. Like, oh my gosh, was it too much? Can we afford this? Do we have enough money for this? None of that's come to my mind. I feel so good about money. Allahumma barik, mashallah. I feel so good about money. I feel so good spending money. I feel so good. I feel good receiving money. I feel good spending money. I feel good saving money. I feel good about money all round. Money is my friend. And I say that in a light-hearted way, not in a way that I'm attached to it. I have no attachments to money. And this is what God means when he says, fear only me. A lot of us are just fearing money. You're making money your God. When you fear money and you have sleepless nights over money, you are worshipping it. It's become your source of worship. When God is your only source of worship, only he is worthy of worship and fearing. Money can't do nothing to you without God's permission. Money can't leave you, enter your bank account without God's permission. So when you fear money and get anxious over it, you're actually telling God, hey God, I don't need you right now. I'm going to worship money. You're telling God, oh God, I'm associating partners with you right now. Right now, money has taken over my mind. And when I hear stuff in like the spiritual community about money being bad, I find that so interesting. Because that means that we should view a hammer or a knife as bad. Because the talk is, if you're religious, you're poor, right? If you're really close to Allah, you won't care about money. Because money can make you do bad things. Well, girl, a knife can either be used to cut some bread or to cut someone's face. Do we start condemning the knife and saying we should never use knives? No, right? We think about the whole context and the character of the person who used the knife. What made him do that? What made her do that? Intentions, right? Your intention is very important. Me personally, I love making money to please God. I love it. It's one of my ways of trying to please Allah. And I hear so much talk in the religious community about you shouldn't worry about money like that, or you shouldn't care about money, or you should focus on pleasing Allah. But there's so many ways that we can please Allah according to our identity. My identity is a very, 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 very rich woman. I love the story of Prophet Suleiman. I'm so attached to that story. I don't know why. Every time I think about Prophet Suleiman, I think, wow, that Prophet alayhi salam was abundant. He had an abundant mindset. He was big, and it was never scolded or frowned upon. We read about it to this day, about Prophet Suleiman asking Allah for a kingdom that no one has ever seen, because he knows he's able to handle it. And I'm like, wow, I can ask for that too. I can ask for so much money. And what I like to do is think there's an abundant bank account with Allah. I have infinite amount of cash that when I ask Allah, he gives it to me. He's like, okay, here you go. The way I withdraw cash from Allah's bank account is just to ask him. That's the way I withdraw. Instead of typing in my PIN, I just ask Allah, I want 100K. And I get it just by asking. Because I didn't stop fearing money. I didn't get anxious over money. I didn't make it the source of my life and think, how can I make more money? I just asked Allah. So when we think big about money and we think good about money, it serves the greater good because that's the language of money. And shifting your identity to being that woman that can handle money is so important. Otherwise, when you do receive money, you're going to receive it with guilt and send it out with guilt. And that's going to increase more guilt in the world and create problems in the world. The more you believe that you can handle money and you can receive money and you can spend money responsibly and ethically and gratefully, the more abundance there will be in your life. I've seen it in my clients' lives, in my life, in my husband's life, in my family's life. I've seen it. I see the way my children think about money too. When you think good about money, you're thinking good about Allah, because Allah is the one who created money. Allah created it as a tool to give you ease. Allah wants ease for you. It's not meant to stress you out that way. But the reason why you're stressed out is because of all these belief systems you have in your mind, all these characters that you're playing. Well, the two characters you're playing, your parents or the inner child who was hurt. Once you shift your identity, your life changes. And this is another thing. A lot of us get scared of what has to change in order for you to grow. Yes, you will let go of a lot of things. For me personally, I had to let go of my old life. I had to let go of holding on to memories, holding on to sentimental things like my home. I let go of my home back in the UK just so I could grow bigger. And now I live in a mansion by the beach. I get to stay in 5-star hotels. The country I live in is literally a holiday destination. I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to go anywhere to have a holiday. I can just book a hotel by the beach and feel like I'm on holiday. But I had to let go of sentimental things that meant so much to me. I had to be able to change, accept change. I had to move away from my family, my siblings. That's a big thing. I always wanted my kids to grow up around their family, but the life that I want to create for myself and my family requires me to think bigger. And that's what your identity is like. If you're a coach, entrepreneur, even if you're a homemaker, a wife, a sister, a daughter, you have dreams. Your dreams require money. And doesn't mean that you have to go and work hard. No, it requires you to be able to receive money in an abundant way and spend it in abundant ways. It requires you to spend it abundantly. Your dreams require abundance from you. It requires you to shift into your abundant identity. And that identity you have in your mind is a feminine woman in her soft feminine power. She loves money. She loves spending it. She loves buying nice things for herself. She loves doing her hair, buying those expensive creams. She loves being around money, talking about money. There's no guilt or anxiety around money. It's all good. That's the identity you want to be rich, relaxed, and romanced. Because your relationship with money affects your relationship or your intimate relationships. It affects your friendships. It affects your marriage, your future husband. Money is a relationship of you, of yourself, with something. When you get married, you're now going to be sharing values. But before you get married, you can see what your traumas are when you look at money. How are you around money? If you want to know what attachment you have with money, how do you view money when you spend it? What do you say to yourself? Instead of you having to go into a relationship and figuring out all your traumas, you can just use money as your buffer. How do you treat money? How do you talk about money? How do you think about money? Money is a relationship with you. And the way you are with money, I can guarantee you're going to be that way in your relationships with your friends and with your husband. Like I've noticed that women who have anxiety around money are anxiously attached to their husbands and their friends. Women who have a negative perspective about money have a negative perspective in their relationships. They whine, they nag, they complain, they feel dissatisfied. Same in their friendships. So once you sort your money traumas out, it will automatically spill into healing your love blocks. I've seen it with my clients. When they're healing their money traumas, their marriage, all of a sudden, girl, it just 10x's. And they're like, I never thought that this would happen. They just came to me for money issues. But they're telling me that their husband has booked them a holiday, romanced them away for the weekend, out of the blue. Because why? Because they're no longer anxious about money. They're no longer whining or complaining or have that energy. Your husband can sense your energy. When you're constricted, it affects your husband. He doesn't know how to please you. Men want to please their women. So when you're constricted and anxious over money, your husband's like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And you're not telling him, but you can sense he's like, what did I do? I must have done something wrong. And for most men, they run away because the wrath of a woman to a man is very heavy. The last thing your husband wants to do is displease you or make you feel sad. He wants to be able to help you. But when you're anxious about money, he just doesn't know how. But once you get rid of your money traumas and you're so relaxed, it just relaxes you. You sleep better at night. Your health is getting better. Girl, you start becoming so attractive to your husband. Your husband's like, damn, what did this woman do? You can't keep his hands off you. He's so affectionate, giving you attention, messaging you throughout the whole day, saying, I'm thinking about you. And you're thinking like, what? What? Like, I didn't do nothing. All I did was work on my money traumas. Well, girl, it's a relationship. How you treat money, it will reflect in your relationship. Same like, even if you're not married, I've had women message me saying, I came to you for money problems. And now guys, I'm getting men interested in marrying me. I'm getting proposals. My family are coming to me with proposals of men who are very well-to-do, saying they want to marry me. And before, it was all dry. I had one lady say she got engaged after working on her money traumas. I had one lady actually say she got engaged to her childhood sweetheart that she ignored for so many years, but now she's married to him just by working on her money traumas. I've had another say to me that her husband is feeding her strawberries in bed. Another one said to me that her husband booked her dream vacation that's been on her vision board for 10 years. Another one messaged me saying her and her husband had no affection whatsoever for such a long time, but after working on her money traumas, her husband booked her a romantic weekend away. All she had to do was pack her bags and just go. Normally she would pay for dates, but her husband said, just pack your bags and get going. I'm taking you on holiday. That's because money and love goes hand in hand. If you love money too much, you're going to be anxious about it. But if you are the vessel of love, where you're grounded in your own love, in your own safety, money will come to you because that's so attractive to men and to money. I've seen it time and time again with my clients. When you shift your identity, everything else shifts. And this is why I'm hosting a 2-hour group abundance rewiring session on the 21st of November at 12 p.m. UK time until 2 p.m. UK time. Just imagine your husband sending you a message telling you to get ready. He's taking you out to the finest restaurant. And as you're looking at the phone smiling, a thought comes to your mind about money. You think to yourself, should I bring some money? So you message him, asking him if he should bring some money. And he replies back to you saying, I got this, girl. I got this, babe. And you can't help but feel so giddy inside, like, oh, I'm getting romanced. And you feel so safe, so secure. And imagine you're looking at your bank account. And whatever amount is in your bank account, you are thanking God for it. The money, the digits no longer affect you. You are just so grateful that the cash is there for you to spend it whenever you need it. And that more is always to come. Imagine finding the love of your life. After all those years thinking it will never happen, he just pops up into your life and he's the one. Committed, wants to marry you, goes to your family to ask for your hand in marriage. No red flags, no love bombing, just perfect. And imagine the friendships, having mutual friendships where you feel safe to be yourself around these women. You don't feel like you have to hold back or not say too much in case they feel jealous. They love you for who you are. They love your energy. They love being around you and you love being around them. That's what's possible when you shift your identity. When you go from being that scared little girl, hurt and abandoned, or that angry parent, and you step into your feminine power. That's when you become rich, relaxed, and romanced. So I'm inviting you to heal your money and love wounds in a 2-hour session. You deserve to never ever feel anxious about money ever again. You deserve to book yourself a weekend away where you can relax and unwind without feeling guilty or feeling like you overspent. You deserve to be in a loving marriage with a man who is so committed to you that you never question if he ever loves you or if you can trust him. And you deserve to be around women who care for you, who love you for who you are, who want to see you thrive. So gift yourself this session. Remind yourself that you are worthy of it. You are deserving of the life you dream of. The link is in my description bio. I want you to click it with the intention that this is going to change the story you have around money forever. And you're ready for that. Have it with the intention that you are done with the old story of being worried about money, having sleepless nights, and that you're done with living an average life because you deserve so much more. Have it with the intention that if you plant the seed today, you're going to reap the fruits soon to come. It could be tomorrow, it could be the next week, next month, next year. It doesn't matter. But you are certain within yourself that you're going to reap the rewards because you told God you are ready. And when you tell God you're ready, by clicking the link, setting the intention, God will bless you with what you pray for. I look forward to hosting you and helping you heal your money and love blocks so you can become rich, relaxed, and romanced. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Please let me know in the chat what came up for you. Comment below your takeaways. And if you have any questions about this 2-hour session, please send me a DM on Instagram.